Hello and welcome to the Legends of Valcia. Today's episode 33. I am Llama Chomp. I will be playing Harbeck Ironfist, the Dwarven Brewmaster Monk. Above me is Brig. Eversor, who will
Hi,
be playing.
I'm Eversor. I'll be playing Brig, the insane gnomish arcane trickster.
Above him is Babs Smurf.
Hey, what's up? No Smurfs were harmed in the making of this hair. I'm Babs. I'll be playing Din Blade, the ranger who was raised by wolves.
Over there in the corner is Nima.
Hi guys, I am Nima. I'm going to be playing Gurgintius, the happy-go-lucky human fighter.
Above him is Flick.
I'm Flick. I'll be playing Tabrin, the oldest member of the party and a caster of many magics.
And in that top corner, the man who defies description and hides under a hoodie, it's Lolash.
Hi, I'm Lolash. I'm the DM and responsible for everything that happens in the world. The good, the bad, and especially the ugly. Right. Flick, it's your turn. Tell us
All
what
right.
happened during last week's session.
Welcome back to Legends of Valcia. Last week, we had a recap of the entire series to this point. So I won't recap the recap. But we did talk a lot about the Oktrast bearers and trying to figure out kind of who the 9, we assume, people might be Oktrast bearers. Kind of found some information, kind of didn't. But at the end of last session, Shadow appeared. Our lovely friend that saved us from the Temple of Alisar as it came crumbling down or encapsulated in dirt. Anyway, he answered some questions for us and kind of asked us a favor of saving his brother, Tresson, who is apparently referred to as Starlight Singer. He is in Thakon, the city of Terran, which is the elven prison that Brig was in. So our plan at this point is to head back to the Laranos Mountains, to the Halls of Thorn, to cash in a favor, to take a ship across the waters to Thakon, to save Tresson, who is essential in helping us free the Felagor. We hope.
Yeah, that pretty much covers it, I think.
I think the only other thing is that Shadow said he was going to hang around here to make sure that the half-elves are okay, so that we don't feel bad leaving them in their current state.
Yeah, so as we left the party last night, everybody except Harbeck was sitting around the campfire quizzing Shadow on the state of the world and asking questions about the Oktrast and seeking some advice on how to enter Thakon and achieve their goal at the moment, which is to rescue that Felagor. And Shadow was his usual non-committal, diverting self who refused to give straight answers unless he was comfortable to do so. And Harbeck had wandered off to do a walk around the camp. But the rest of the party had decided that they were going to travel back to Thorum, or the Hall of Thorum, and try to secure passage on a ship, because landing on the coast of Thakon is probably going to be easier than either traversing the mountain, going under the mountain, or fighting their way into the city. So That's where we're going to be picking up tonight. Harbeck, you've been out and about. You're probably heading back at about this stage, I think.
I think, I mean, if we want to retcon a little bit, last time I did walk up right at the end of the conversation and suggested the boat, I think.
Maybe. It's been 3 weeks. My memory is not as sharp as it.
I'm pretty sure that Harbeck walked back up, like, just as everything was getting decided and hung his head. He was so excited to go on a mountain for a while and said, I guess we'll have to take a boat. I think, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I think we're all in agreement. We need to head back through the Laranos Mountains to secure passage.
I think you're right. That said, it's been a long day. We might be better off actually getting some sleep before we head off on another long trek.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was quite the story. I'm gonna need to sleep and digest that all. Thanks for telling me all of that.
Oh, are you listening?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think he apologized at one point for calling us serial killers as well.
Yeah. That I did.
I will keep you safe until morning.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Shadow.
So, Shadow, as Brieg is laying down to go to sleep, if the Ravager fellow comes back, do you actually think you could take him?
I don't know, honestly.
I hope we don't have to find out.
So do I, little one. So do I.
Then Brieg will go to sleep.
Is everybody else going to be doing the same thing? Getting some rest.
We'll need it.
Din, going to sleep. Harbeck's going to sleep.
Harbeck props himself up against a wall as if he's going to sit and, is sort of uncharacteristically quiet and lost in thought and makes all of the mannerisms and gestures as if he's going to sit up and just, like, boil over all of these thoughts all night, and is completely dead asleep, snoring loudly before anyone else.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so the night is peaceful. There's no disturbances. You sleep as well as you've slept in the last few months, besides maybe the stay at the inn for the short little bit of rest that you got there.
Before we burned it down.
Yeah, before you burnt it down. The morning comes sooner than you would like. And you find yourself waking up one by one and preparing your breakfasts and doing all of those things. Is there anything you guys wanted to hash out or get sorted before you started your journey?
We've got a long journey ahead of us, but we can do it.
Tavern being an inspiring leader.
Do we want to visit the goblins on our way back?
That's several days away still. I think we'll make that decision when it comes up. I mean, I'm curious
That's true.
about
When we get lost again.
Right.
I mean,
I'm certainly curious
we don't
about
have to
them,
go
but they're
around.
not exactly central to what we're trying to accomplish.
And any other business to take care of before you leave? No,
I don't think so.
we're all good.
No. Are all of are the
Do we
elves-
have to avoid elven people? Like, do we have to like avoid certain areas on our way back, like we had to on our way here?
crossing
The tree line.
the plains, the grasslands, is going to put us at higher risk of running into elves. But
We should go back the way we came.
So,
We're gonna have to.
instead of this way.
We came in this way because we came through the ruins of Rakith. So
Oh,
right,
true.
but we came out of the mountains somewhere.
We came in
over
something like that, I
here-ish.
think.
yeah,
Yeah, we came in
I
like
believe
through
you're
here.
correct. I think we just like hug the trees, hug the coast of that lake, and then just cut straight down.
Just dash across.
I mean, if we run into them, we run into them. I am capable of disguising myself and hopefully making it a non-issue.
I am capable of
Okay.
very angrily punching elves.
Sounds good.
So the plan of attack is to hug this coast and head straight for the entrance
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
Aranos Mountains, which is about here. Okay. All right. The journey starts out like any other, with a single footstep. After you gather your belongings and leave the camp, you hug the trees and head out. Is there anything any of you are particularly doing
Some
or
of us
paying
are tree
attention
huggers.
to? Yeah, some of you are tree huggers. Is
Should
there
we
anything
say
you guys
goodbye
are
to the
doing?
elves? Half elves.
Most of them haven't come out of their homes. The few that have look incredibly sheepish and worn. It's not that they're dismissive of you or that they don't appreciate what you did, but they're just so taken aback by the events that that they haven't recovered yet. So, is there anything you're going to be doing while traveling? Because you're about a day out, maybe a little bit more than a day. The ruins will be, or the plains will be much easier going than the forest travel that you have been doing. So,
I think, like anything, finding odd or interesting plant matter things for Harbeck's collection.
okay.
They've proved quite useful in our journey.
And apples.
Didn't
We
we
should
be doing
collect
that?
apples.
Apples, they're worth lots of gold. So Din's going to be
We do all
doing
our
her
trade now
usual.
on in apples.
Din's doing her usual foraging and hunting. Tabarin is keeping an eye out for unusual-looking flora. Brieg, is there anything you're doing?
Yeah, so we're going back to Terran. That's like the end point of the current journey, right?
Right.
That freaks.
Well, after Terran, you've got to go to the capital.
Well,
So
right. We've got more stuff, but that's like that's kind of point. I don't know, B, I guess, because we have to go to
Yeah.
Forum first. Anyway, so that is the thing that is coming, and that kind of freaks me out. So Brieg spends most of his time chatting with Binks, trying to think of good ways to get in and out of Terran, which I have done a couple of times. Just trying to see if I can bring those memories back without freaking out about them.
okay, fair enough. And Harbeck?
Harbeck walks.
Okay.
And walks and walks and walks.
I imagine
And
Harbeck
walks.
waddles more than walks. But
Harbeck just tries to
waddles super
disguise
quickly,
his
though.
dexterity with his usual gait.
right. Okay, Tabarin, I'm going to need a knowledge nature check from you, please,
Perfect.
as you walk along the edge of the forest. And Din, One from a survival check from you. It's survival, right? It's still called survival. It's been 3 weeks.
That's
My
a
brain
thing,
is
yeah.
completely forgotten. Do one of those for me. And I'm actually going to get a willpower save, or a wisdom saving throw from you, Brig.
I'm super good at those.
Boom.
You
nice.
are super good at this one. Boom.
Hey, those are
order.
exactly the numbers showing on the dice. You are good at those.
He's really good at wisdom saves.
I'm super good at those.
Gargantius will be talking to the book. He has things to say.
Okay.
At
All right.
least.
You go ahead.
Why is it that every person we have in our party eventually goes crazy?
Oh.
I don't want to lend to that
Initiation, prerequisite.
It's
A bit of
contagious.
both, I think. Right. So, are you going to be talking out loud to the book, Nima, or are you going to be conversing internally?
Did I figure out that? Did I forgot. During our encounter, did I think? Like when he was.
We're not
Did I
sure.
think a response, or did I say it out loud?
we don't know if there's any thinking involved. No, when
To the contrary.
when you had your conversation with him, it was entirely internal.
Okay, great. So I'm guessing that I sort of figured that out, and I'll think it instead of say it out loud.
Okay,
I'll
the
think.
party went to get crazy.
Right. But yeah, mostly it's I'm gonna say I'm gonna be thinking Parma. I'm calling him Parma because I'm thinking that's the Elvish word for buck.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say, hey, thanks for that thing you did. Can I learn how to do that?
Okay. Right. So I'm going to go through a couple of things. Eversaw, I will be hitting you up with some whispers because of that check. But for Din and Tabron, Din, not only do you, manage to gather enough food for the journey, you notice that Harbeck looks a little bit glum and a little bit down. Something's obviously getting to him. And you manage to find some really, really nice, spicy herbs and just some really good flavoring stuff. It's not like sustenance, but it makes things tasty, and Harbeck likes tasty things. So you have those and you can give them to him. And Tabern, while you're walking along on the edge of the forest, it's probably getting close to midday, and you're sort of watching the edge of the forest looking for unusual plants and things. You spot an unusual tree. It sticks out because its wood is darker, almost red. Just beyond the actual line of the forest. Seems to be in a little bit of a clearing. It's growing. There's no trees closely packed around it like the rest of the forest. It is somewhat unusual.
Hey guys, hold up for a second. And we'll go off the path we're on to go investigate it more closely.
Okay. It's definitely a strange tree. You're not sure why it's strange, but it drew your attention, and now everybody who followed you into the edge of the forest can see it. Who would have followed Tabern into the forest?
I would.
Din did?
Or
Gargantius
Steve.
did?
It depends.
Anybody
Did you
else?
think I was going in there to pee, or because I saw something?
How deep in conversation am I with my ferret?
One of them followed you for one reason, one of them followed you for the other. It's your guess which.
Okay, if you followed Tabern into the forest,
So Harbeck
you can roll a
did
knowledge
not,
nature check.
right?
Harbeck did not.
Sorry?
Roll a witch check.
Harbeck
Harbeck
barely
did not.
noticed that they left
Knowledge
the
nature.
path and stopped walking.
Yeah, so
Even if we're not proficient.
Yeah, even if you're not proficient.
That's okay.
Wow.
Din's really good at that.
I know some nature.
Din, you recognize the tree for what it is, like almost immediately. Your
It's a
mother
tree!
told you about them. It's not just a
Oh.
tree. It's a particular kind of tree. It's called a heartwood. And your mother told you there were two in the forest near where you lived. One that was close to your den, and it was thriving, and the forest around you was thriving. There was one further south, down near where the cat people live, and the only reason you saw it is because you defied your mother and went down there. And it actually stood in a patch of almost dead forest, and it itself was dead. And your mother told you when you were younger that the heartwoods were the soul of the forest, and that they were to be respected.
It's a heartwood. Don't chop it down.
Like,
Okay.
heart as in, like, this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah. Is it shaped like that?
No, it's
No,
just
it looks like a tree.
much more bulbous. Yeah, it's much more bulbous than a typical tree. Like it's quite. It looks almost like a
Harbeck-esque.
tulip bulb. Sorry.
Harbeck.
sort of Harbeck-esque.
What do
Yeah,
they call
sort of
those?
Harbeck-esque,
Like,
yeah.
Just,
there are trees that get
just
those
much
big.
rounder than you would expect.
There's a word for them at the bottoms of trees. People go hunting for them because they have cool patterns in them when you slice across them, and they can sell the wood for thousands and thousands of dollars. What do they call? There's a word.
Don't
for
do that.
Well, there's old wood,
It's
old growth forest, which typically has the big fancy wood. But
I can't remember.
I'm sure there's a particular kind of tree in real life.
Yeah, there's a word for the ball at the bottom, and I can't remember what it's called.
But Tavern, why did it draw your attention?
Just, I've never seen a tree like that before, and to have
I
it
believe it's called a
sit
burl.
all
That's
by
the word.
itself here just
Tabern,
caught
when
my
you touch the
attention.
tree, as you inspect it and lightly touch the tree feels warm. Not hot. Almost like you were touching another person. And it's a little unsettling, but you can almost feel the energy in the tree itself.
There's more to this tree than what it seems to be. I mean, the trees all around us are living, but this one seems to be
Aliver?
for lack of a better word,
Sentience?
yeah.
Yeah, because it's the heart.
You mean literally like the life of the forest around us.
Think of the forest as a giant person with lots of arms, and this tree is the heart.
It's very interesting.
I don't hear a heartbeat. I guess it's not like literal.
Well, no, it's kind of literal. But it's a forest heart, not a person heart, so it doesn't beat.
Yeah. Do these kind of trees grow fruit?
There's no fruit on it. No flowers either, no kind of nut or anything like that. Which seems strange because all of the other trees around you have the various means of reproduction. This one doesn't seem to have that. While I let you guys think about that, Brieg, you were going to say something when you realized that Harbeck hadn't walked into the forest.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that if Harbeck also is just standing there, I will distractedly continue my conversation with
Thanks. Okay.
things. After, I assume that they've been gone for a few minutes inspecting this tree, I may wander up and kind of tug on Harbeck's shirt, whatever. Harbeck,
Yes, lad.
should we follow him in there?
How can we see them? Like, I mean, he saw this tree from the path, right?
Yeah, you can see
can
them.
see them from
They're
where we're
not
standing.
far into the forest.
If they move out of sight, I suppose we should.
Are you all right?
No.
Is there anything we can do?
Didn't know. And that's probably the problem. Is that I do not know.
All right.
Are you alright?
I'm a bit scared, but that's nothing new.
Right, I think a bit scared is the closest you get to yes, I'm alright.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. It's
Tavern.
Yeah.
When you sprinkle the loamy soil around the base of the tree and whisper some words under your breath that the other party members can't catch, you feel a sense of safe, a sense of home, and you also feel a tingling running down your palm and just slightly up your wrist as you finish sprinkling the loamy soil. And almost simultaneously, you feel a rustling in your backpack.
That's weird. I'll, step away 10 feet or so, pull my pack off and take a look.
As you open up the bag, inside you see some shattered glass from one of your vials. Your first instinct is, oh crap, that thing that was in Harbeck has gotten loose, because that would explain the wiggling. So you immediately get a little bit scared.
I about to have to do some surgery again.
But as you sort of peek into your bag and try and get some light to flow into it from the scattered light coming through the canopy.
Sorry to interrupt. Somebody's got to check their feedback. We're getting a whistle. Check your mics.
Okay, yeah, I heard that as well. Anyway, so as you sort of try and get some sunlight to come through the canopy because it's filtering in and it's a bit spotty, you spot a small green thing moving around in your backpack.
What? I leave it there and take a step back for a second.
After a few moments,
What's wrong with your backpack?
To it again. There's something inside it.
There's lots of stuff in your backpack. You keep shoving vials of things in there.
Yeah.
One of them broke.
It wasn't that thing you took out of Harvick, right?
I don't have confirmation on that, except I think this is green. Small.
Green.
Din is
Go
going to
up
take
to it
2
again
steps
and
back from Tabern's
try and-
backpack.
Wasn't that thing
Hold on.
that was helping the food green?
I'm gonna kind of
The
peek
plants?
inside again. Reach in.
As you reach into the backpack, something scrabbles up your arm quite rapidly. No claws or anything, nothing that would, do you any kind of damage. It feels kind of like a ferret with its nails clipped. So
Should I
if you've
call
ever
Greek?
had Binks crawl on you at any time, that's kind of what it feels like. And it sort of runs up your arm and then settles into the nook of your elbow. And as you look down, you see this small humanoid thing. It's vaguely humanoid, but it's made out of plant materials. And there's an intelligence and curiosity behind its eyes.
I'm gonna. What are you?
If it tries to
Reach
climb down
over
your
with
neck,
my
I'm
other
going to go get
hand.
Breed.
Reach over with my other hand to try and lift it up.
As you reach over with your other hand, it kind of nuzzles you like a cat.
I think you have a pet.
I
Did
think
you
so too.
Did you have a seed in your backpack? How did it grow? What?
I'm gonna look back through my backpack and determine what vial broke.
It was the vial full of the essence that you collected from the Shambling Mound.
Oh. It's safe for now. I'm gonna need to do some research as we continue on, but I get a pretty good sense that everything's fine. We're safe. Our travel should go well today.
Okay.
And you have a pet.
This
Something like that.
This thing's adorable. It's this tiny plant humanoid, which is active and appears to be friendly. And when Tabron gets up and goes to put his backpack on, it sort of follows around his legs and darts into the forest, but it always comes back. And it definitely seems to be attached to him for whatever reason.
Cool.
Good job. You have a familiar. I think.
So, this tree doesn't grow fruit. So how does it reproduce?
I don't know.
Do we feel like this is an important species that needs to be protected? Because we can
It's fine. The forest
take
will
a
protect
bit-
it.
what I meant is we could take a bit of root and put it in water and then plant it somewhere else, and then that root becomes a tree.
No.
No, I wouldn't. Let's take a piece of your heart and put it in something else and see if that thing becomes alive.
Don't cut it.
So I was thinking botany, and this is not that kind of thing.
No, this is more complex.
Brieg and Harbeck, at about this stage, you see the party who were all sort of acting a little strangely near the tree. As you're wrapping up your conversation, walk back out, and Tabrin has a new hanger-onerer.
Hey guys. Found something. Not sure what it is, but it likes me, and
And it hasn't bitten anybody yet. So I think we should keep it.
Harbeck
It
looks
came out of Tabern's backpack.
from Tabrin to the little green fluff ball, and from Brieg to Binks, and from Din to Wolf, and from Gargintius to Book.
And Steed, I guess.
Bends over, picks up a rock.
Boozy?
I have Steed.
Hello, friend. And starts walking down the
Tabrin
trail.
casts message and
We're
replies
cheating
back.
on Boozy with a rock.
Oh dear. The rest of the day's travel goes on without a hitch. The little plant thing continues to follow you even after you leave the forested area. And it seems to spring up from nowhere. Like it'll vanish into the grass, and you won't see it for 15 minutes. And then all of a sudden it'll run up and tug on your pants leg. And then it'll follow you for a bit. And then it'll wander off again.
I'll just experiment and think to it to give it basic commands or see how it responds.
Okay. Strangely enough, when you think to it, it seems to respond. It's definitely independent. It definitely has a sense of self, but it's also somehow intrinsically tied to you. And you can exhibit, while it might not be mental control, it's definitely mental direction over it.
Okay.
Harbeck,
Yes.
you know how you're sad but you like food?
Both of those things are true.
I brought you these to make your food more foodie, and maybe it will make you less sad.
Then that's incredibly thoughtful. Thank you. I will make some foodier food tonight.
And be less sad?
What's your name, fellow? Mash, I think. Mash, did you see what she brought us? Yeah, isn't that nice?
Harbeck's losing his mind. You reach the end.
Losing?
You reach
He's
the
talking
edge
to a rock.
You reach the edge of the Phaedos forest as night is starting to fall. You could push on and head into the mouth of the cave and camp inside, or you could choose to camp outside in the forest. What would you like to do?
Forest is okay, right?
Yeah, we should camp in the forest.
Yeah. Just inside the forest.
Mash says he wants to be with his people. We should camp in the cave.
I think I'd feel safer in the cave as well.
What if we camp
I'll
near the
stand
mouth
to
of the
avoid
cave and we
caves.
can sleep in the cave and you can sleep in the forest?
I'll go to the cave. I'm okay with going with the rock's suggestion.
Harbeck?
Yes, lad.
Am I the crazy one?
So, When Din talks to her wolf, the wolf understands and responds. When I talk to Binks, Binks understands and responds. When Gargintius talks to Book, Book understands and responds. I'm a bit concerned about you and the rock.
Strange as that may seem.
Well, just because Mash hasn't responded yet doesn't mean that he doesn't understand.
You just picked up a random rock in the forest.
No, I picked up Mash.
Mash was a random rock
Breeg,
from the
don't
forest.
break him. He's already broken, Breeg. Don't break him more.
I thought I was repairing him.
I don't think you are.
Bree, I think we should buy some googly eyes when we get into town.
I'm really quite concerned about you, Harbeck.
It's okay. He's gonna make some foodier food, and that will cheer him up, and maybe we'll find him an actual pet, like a piggy.
Why?
I feel like
Then you will
since
always
when was
have
a
bacon.
book my pet, by the way? I don't think the book likes that word.
I didn't mean to imply that Mr. Book was a pet. I think of Binks more as a friend than as a pet, and I think that Din
Companion?
feels similar about Arian.
He's
Okay.
definitely not my pet.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Which one of you two is actually in charge?
Arian.
That makes sense.
It is Arian's human companion. You're going to settle in for rest for the night. Is there going to be watching done, and who is going to be doing it?
I'll take a
Albion
watch.
Cave, presumably.
Yeah,
I'll
I'll
take
take
a
a
watch.
watch.
I will join somebody in taking a watch.
Sure, me and you together, because I have OOC. I
Alright.
feel like I'm gonna roll low.
When we get back from our break, we'll get everybody to roll their respective perception checks and see if anything happened overnight. But for now, that's going to do us for Legends of Valcia Session 1. I know it's a little bit shorter than normal. We had some technical difficulties. But we'll be back with the next episode very shortly. If you're watching on Twitch, we'll be done in 3 minutes. If you're watching on YouTube, the video will get up when Llama puts it up.
I thought I
See you
put up
shortly.
all of last episodes. I thought they were already up. We've been like 2 weeks since I did. I'm really good. Right, break. Thanks. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Bye.